Welcome to the online edition of Psych 132, Introduction to Programming for Psychological Scientists. My name is Jeremy Manning, and I'm an assistant professor of psychological and brain sciences at Dartmouth. In addition to teaching courses, I also run a research lab where I use computational models to understand how our brains learn and remember. One of my most treasured memories is when I first learned the magic of programming. It opened my mind to a whole new way of thinking and solving problems, and it profoundly shaped my intellectual development. My primary goal in teaching this course is to bring some of that magic into your life. I'll introduce you to the fundamental ideas in programming to jumpstart your journey to thinking like a programmer. One of the key ideas we'll keep revisiting is that complex problems and questions can always be broken down into simpler, less complex problems. And if you break down things enough, you can eventually get to simple enough components that you can start to make progress on something that at first seemed prohibitively daunting. As you might guess, this approach can be applied to many situations and problem-solving scenarios beyond programming, too. The secondary goal of this course is to give you some hands-on experience tinkering away at computer programming problems that might be useful in your current or future work as a scientist, using computational tools to study psychology or neuroscience. Of course, the ideas we'll touch on could in principle be applied to a broad range of disciplines, but we'll focus most of our examples on psychological questions and tools that are often specifically useful for psychology research. Our specific focus on psychology is one of the main characteristics of this course that differentiates it from more classic introductory programming courses. The other main differentiator of this course is that we'll focus nearly exclusively on applications rather than on theories or proofs. If you've had some exposure to computer science courses already, you might be familiar with terms like computational complexity or big O notation or things like that. In this class, we'll skip over that theory stuff, not because it isn't important or useful, but because our focus will instead be on applications. This course is organized into 10 modules. The first few modules are focused on teaching you to program and build up your basic toolkit as a fledgling programmer. After you get the basics down, each subsequent module will be focused on some specific tool or set of concepts. We may skip around or change those later modules according to students' backgrounds and interests, and also how quickly we make it through the earlier material. Learning to program can be a major challenge because it can require you to think in new ways that you may not be used to. You might find that learning to program feels totally natural, like putting a name to something you've already been doing for your entire life. Or you might find that learning to program feels deeply uncomfortable, like being immersed in a totally new language that you had never even heard of before. Or you might find that some concepts are intuitive and others less so. The important thing is to stay strong, stick with it, ask for help when you need it, and be kind to yourself and helpful to your fellow classmates. We're going to be on this learning journey together, and it'll be that much more fun if we can foster a sense of camaraderie and team spirit. You should take a look at the course syllabus to familiarize yourself with the format and policies. Of note, I understand that not everyone will be able to attend our Zoom meetings during the scheduled times. I think it will be helpful for you to attend if and when you're able. But I will also record each class meeting and make it available to you to view asynchronously if needed. I'd like to end this welcome message by acknowledging that the ongoing global pandemic will be providing us with real difficulties and challenges that may affect us differently and at different times. Please let me know how I can best support you and teach you. Looking forward to having you in class.